All right, so the next team on our 2025 football season preview is the East St. Louis Flyers. Now, this is undoubtedly one of the best and dominant teams, not only in the state, but in my opinion, in the nation. They've produced some of the best football players to come out of the state. Most recently, 3 Flyers were drafted in the NFL. Luther Burden III in 2025 to the Bears, Dominic Lovett 2025 to the Lions, and Antonio Johnson in 2023 to the Jaguars. East St. Louis is so good that they play a nationally ranked schedule. For example, in the 2025 season, they'll be taking on Bishop Gorman, the #1 team in the state of Nevada, IMG Academy, who they regularly play, which is the #1 team in Florida, and Bergen Catholic, the #1 team in New Jersey. And to be honest, that's actually what we love about East St. Louis. They do not duck any smoke. Now, the one thing that we do wish, though, is that they play more top teams in the Chicagoland area. And there are definitely some dream matchups out there. I mean, you got East St. Louis versus Mount Carmel, although they did play a couple years ago. East St. Louis versus Lincoln Way East. That is something that the people want to see. I know I would definitely want to see it myself. But last year, they did open up their season with a dominating performance against the Loyola Academy Ramblers. They beat them 34-7. And just to be clear, Loyola was the 8A state champions, and they three-peated. So that just tells you how dominant East St. Louis is. I mean, last season, they completely dominated. They went 13-1, outscoring opponents 609 and 104, and they only loss came at the end of the season to IMG Academy, where they lost 14-13 in overtime. Last year, East St. Louis won the state championship too in the Class 6A. In the 6A state title game, they beat Geneva 48-28. And being there personally last year, that was a very entertaining offensive performance from both teams. Now, the Flyers are returning some of the top 3-star players in the state. We got Cortez, Rupert, Mytrell, Tillman, Terrell, Berryhill, and Leon Howard. Now, the Flyers are once again favored to win the 6A state championship, even with 6A looking slightly different this year. Due to the IHSA success factor, Joliet Catholic and Nazareth will likely be bumped up to 6A. Now, just because that's happening, does that change the outcome? If you asking me, probably not. The Flyers have appeared in the last 5 6A state championships and won 3 of them. Nonetheless, it's going to be another electric season for the East St. Louis Flyers as they look to add their 12th state title. And also, I suspect they could potentially be adding some very good transfers that can only enhance their team this season. What do y'all think? Do y'all think East St. Louis can repeat this year?